Joining me now for more on this is former chief counsel for the minority of the U.S. Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, Jeff Robbins. Jeff, thanks so much for taking the time with us tonight.
Thank you, Phil.
Right off the bat, let's talk about why this case is so important to the rule of law in America.
Well, quite simply, as the prosecutors said, Steve Bannon thought he could thumb his nose at the government, at Congress, at the rule of law, which requires people to show up when they're subpoenaed and not lift a middle finger to them. He thought somehow that it would never come to pass, that he would be prosecuted and convicted and sent to jail. And he has been prosecuted and he has been convicted. And it looks like he is going to jail.
So can Bannon ever be forced to testify? I know he had kind of 11th hour thrown in this idea of testifying before the committee. Most saw that as just kind of a way to get out of what just happened to him. But can he ever be forced to testify? And is it just as simple as taking this verdict and doing whatever jail time comes his way? Because it's most a couple of years, at least maybe 30 days. Is there a chance he faces no jail time at all?
Well, there isn't a chance that he won't get jail time unless, of course, his conviction is overturned along the way. Now, it is pretty likely that his sentencing will be stayed, that is to say his term will be stayed pending appeal, given that it's a misdemeanor. And so he can hope that the process drags out and that something happens in the interim. But if what is expected to occurs, which is that he is, in fact, his conviction is upheld, he will face a minimum of 30 days in jail and a maximum of 2 years in jail. 2 years because the maximum is 1 year for each act of contempt, and he was convicted on both counts. He can't, to your question, be forced to testify. If he doesn't want to testify, he cannot testify. The problem is he will then go to jail.
Do you think this trial is being used as some sort of warning to other people? Because I want to take a step back now and first let me ask you, how rare is this type of case being brought forward by the Justice Department? And after that, someone like Mark Meadows, who has kind of gone down the same path but hasn't been charged, what happens now because of this?
Yeah, it is pretty rare, to answer your first question, because most people don't have the monumental arrogance that Steve Bannon does, or the fear, as the case may be, of Donald Trump. And in terms of your first question, which is this a message? It is a message. It's a powerful message. And it may very well be that the fact that this has occurred, that Congress did refer this for prosecution, that the DOJ did prosecute and win the conviction, you may very well see a steady flow of people who had been reluctant or otherwise resistant to testifying before the committee now saying, you know what, I don't really feel like spending even 30 years in jail, and the Department of Justice is going to be emboldened to bring these cases. Why don't I just go on down to the committee and answer the questions that I had been reluctant to answer? Why don't I just go down to the committee and produce the documents that I have not been producing? Starting, by the way, with Peter Navarro, who's got a decision to make. I say Peter Navarro because, of course, he's the other person close to Trump who has been indicted for contempt of Congress. So to your point, I think you're absolutely correct. This is a very powerful lever that the committee now has in the 5 or 6 months left of its existence, likely given what's going to happen in Congress, to use to extract testimony to persuade people who were not prepared to tell the truth to now see the light and tell the truth.
Right. Pretty cut and dry. At least this one was. I always like to turn a phrase like that. Monumental arrogance. I'm gonna keep. I'll give you credit, but that was a good one. Former Assistant U.S. Attorney Jeff Robbins, thanks so much for your time and your insight tonight. Do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Phil.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.